So my project will be on the She campaign from the Canadian branch of Hershey. In 2023, they launched a campaign to celebrate women and those that we've been inspired by using a limited edition wrapping that looks like this, as well as a hashtag Hershey to allow women to share their stories and the women that they've been inspired by. I will be talking about some controversy that I will explain further about how Faye Johnstone took most of the hate and backlash from social media and from a hashtag boycott Hershey, because she is a trans woman in a campaign for women. Some felt like it was an insult to women. In the greater context of things, it shows that how trans rights has become a bigger, more prominent issue in the world, and it causes some attention because they are fighting for equality and equity and even just recognition as being on the same level as a biological woman. The campaign itself advocates for gender equality, which has been around for like hundreds of years, so that's nothing new there. How the public is involved is that the media has really brought up this hate from all over the world, and mostly all over the country, to be honest, and the consumers and general media and even people in politics have input their opinions, and Hershey saw this and responded to it, saying that they wanted to have a campaign that showcased diversity and inclusivity of the celebration of women. So what happened was in 2020, Brazil started the campaign with the celebration of female artists, then India in 2021 celebrating female leaders. Then in the same year, a small group of women from Hershey took these ideas and launched them on March 8th in the form of the She campaign. It goes on for a month, for Women's History Month, and in 2023 they showcased 5 women, one of whom was Faye Johnstone, who is transgender and queer, and some people thought that it was insulting towards biological women. Amy Kremer was one of those people, called the campaign disgusting, started the hashtag boycott Hershey, and thus it started trending on social media, as a trend does. Since then, Hershey has responded to it, saying that their campaign was not because of that, it was to be diverse and inclusive and show that they support both biological women or they support women, whether they are biological or not. And I mean, nothing really changed after that. They still have their partnerships. They still celebrate the She campaign in March. And I mean, the backlash didn't really do anything towards them, but it still was a big thing that happened. Was it a win? Sales skyrocketed 692%. So in terms of money and revenue, yes. It also allowed women a safe space to bring the people who we didn't think of before into the light. But was it a loss? When you mix the product and politics, you're going to get hate in some form, some way. So Faye Johnstone was just the one that took that hate, but she stood her ground. She said she wasn't going to back down or run away. So I do believe that it was a success. Like I said, sales rocketed, and regardless of whether hashtag boycott Hershey got praise or hate or love or even criticism, it still got the message around. It still spread. It still got attention some way. So I think that the campaign was a very large success, even though it probably wasn't intended to bring hatred towards Johnstone. It still generated some sort of trend and got the message out there. What I would do differently, not much. I would watch the trends from different launches and then see what worked and see what didn't, and fix it as that information allows. I would make sure that the brand shows the public what their campaign is, why they're doing it, and who it's for. And then if the once the hashtag boycott Hershey began, I would make sure that Hershey responds to the hatred appropriately, as well as making sure Johnstone is doing okay with that hatred. I know that a lot of hate comments can mess with a person's mental capacity sometimes. By doing those things, I believe that it shows the public that the brand cares about women's well-being and supports them, whether they are biological or not. And by doing so, the public will want to buy their product because it makes them feel like they are being a part of something bigger than themselves, of something that will help the world. And that generates a general positive attitude towards the brand. So that's what I would do. That's all I got. So thank you.